imagine that once again. I don't know, guys. You need to speak to Nolo. She's the producer of African Diaries, but she has this tendency of not warning me when she's going to say something, and then I just burst out laughing. And look at it, we are on air. But anyways. That's the kind of spirits that we start off with. Welcome to you, and thank you so much for choosing Channel Africa, the African perspective. My name is Kitty Peter, standing in for Shayla on African Diaries. Don't forget to find us on channel 628 on OpenView HD and DSTV Audio Bouquet on channel 802. www.channelafrica.co.za is where you can find us if you want to stream us wherever you are. And +27 63 406 9126 is our WhatsApp line. And our social media platforms, you can always find us on at Channel Africa 1. Gender-based violence continues to affect countless lives. Often in silence, the Kwanele Foundation is working on the ground to support survivors, challenge harmful cultural norms, and create real change. We sit down with the founder, Sihle Sibisi, to explore the foundation's mission and the lessons learned and the vision for a safer, more equitable society. So that's what you can look forward to in this hour. And of course, we're going to be checking out how does a song become a lifeline after trauma. In this powerful conversation with we have been debating about her name, but I hope this is correct. Conversation with Laiva Starker, a South African music therapist and researcher, shares how music therapy helps survivors of gender-based violence reconnect with their bodies, emotions, and sense of self. Drawing from her research and clinical experience, Laiva reveals how the act of listening, creating, and sharing sound can transform silence into strength and restores what violence once tried to take away. And of course, that's what we're going to be delving into today. And I hope you are going to be stuck with us and enjoying yourself. But today we need to have pivotal conversations and, in terms of what is happening in our society. And it's a daily challenge. So these are important issues that we need to focus on. Thank you so much to Matapole Mahapi for the news. And we've got our social media platform, social media and digital team also. Thank you to you guys. Shout out to you. And Catherine Chuchu Maleka is our technical producer. Whoop, whoop. And of course, the lovely Nolo Pebetsi, who's our African Diaries producer. And thanks once again to Africa World Hour with Tsebiso Magwetla. She's back again tomorrow, same time, same place. We'll be back in just a moment with our Dear Diary entries. Don't go anywhere.
A atenção do mundo está em Johannesburg. Líderes das maiores economias do planeta reúnem-se para tomar decisões que irão moldar o futuro das nações e dos mercados. O Channel África está no centro dos acontecimentos a trazer-lhe as conversas, análises e perspectivas que realmente importam. A cimeira do G20 nos dias 22 e 23 de novembro, sob uma perspectiva africana em tempo real. Acompanhe tudo no Channel África.
Celebrate life every day. Tune in to Channel Africa. Stay connected through a new website and free mobile app.
One of us must have a last say. Words like dagger, we try to hurt each other. There's no other way until one surrenders. We've been like this for days. We've been like this for days. So when you said goodbye with a smile on your face, thought it was as usual. You begun just for a little while. I didn't see it coming. Wouldn't believe what someone told me that I've been waiting for years. Been waiting for years. Even though we knew like we're far away. to the beginning. None of us must have a last say. I'm writing you this letter, hoping we can make things clearer. Over all the shouting, we forget to hear each other. And I miss you for days, in so many ways. Even though we knew, like we're far away, far from far away. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Let's go back to the beginning, the beginning. You and me. Let's go back to the beginning, the beginning. You and me. The beginning. Oh, the beginning. You and me. You and me. Let's go back to the beginning.
The G20 Summit through African eyes, live updates, and expert voices only on Channel Africa.
Caesar. Ulole we wai tutula. Ulole we wai tutula. Ulole we wai tutula. Nangwa Caesar. Sule zoyembe zimtagwetu. Sule zoyembe zimtagwetu. Sule zoyembe zimtagwetu. Nangwa Caesar. Sule zonyembe zimtagwetu. Sule zonyembe zimtagwetu. Sule zonyembe zimtagwetu. Nangwa Caesar. Uloli we, we tutula. Uloli we wai tutula. Uloli we wai tutula. Nangwa Caesar. zonyembezi mntakwethu nangwasiza uloliwe loliwe wetutula uloliwe wayi tutula uloliwe wayi tutula nangwasiza obezulu engozini udlali welezodwa umavuna ay ukuya kona thandaza phezulu engozini kudlali welezodwa umavuna ay ukuya kona.
Oh man, another beautiful, so a beautiful artist gone too soon. She was said that she's our own India Ari, and I say no, no, no. This is Zahara on her own and nobody else. The beautiful, beautiful vocals of Zahara with Loliwe. And before that, you heard the beginning by Asha, bringing us to exactly 16 minutes after 10 o'clock right here on African Diaries with me, Kitty Petla, standing in for Shayla. And you can find us on OpenView HD on channel 628 and at channel 802 on DSTV Audio Bouquet. And please do not forget to download our Channel Africa app. As well, we do have our own app. We are fancy like that, right? And on our social media platforms, you can find us on @ChannelAfrica1. So now we're going to be jumping straight to our Dear Diary entry. And today we have Pindile Yende, who's going to be telling us a little something on her diary entry.
Some of you need to hear this. Silence does not protect you. What silence does is that it isolates you, and your past traumas or current horrible situations that you're going through right now, they then become a prison cell in your life. You continue to keep staying in that dark place because you think that there's some form of grace in being silent while you are dying inside all alone. And some of you protecting people that do not even care about protecting you. Some of you in situations that you didn't even bring yourself into, but yet you are protecting those current circumstances. Now, I'm not saying go out there and tell the whole world of your business. No. But what I'm saying is that find safe spaces in which you can seek help, in which you can find your voice, in which you can speak out. So you don't have to stay in that dark place for far longer than you need to stay in. Get yourself out of that deep, dark hole and speak out. Do not allow silence to cripple you. Do not allow silence to keep you in a prison cell. It's time to break free. It is time for you to break.
Oh man, that's very powerful. You know, it is time for us to break free. My thing is be loyal to inner peace. That for me is a very profound thing that I live by, and I'm not one to share, you know, your business or your heartaches out there in the world, but it's very imperative to find ways to help yourself, go for therapy, talk to someone, you know, in a way that is comforting you and that's going to be able to allow you to face every day as it comes. Because I always say, a day at a time, a moment at a time, every day, you know, and in pursuit of finding inner peace, that is so important, because that is the only way you can navigate what she spoke about, the dark hole, because that's a place that you don't want to be in. I think it's very imperative to acknowledge the dark hole and have the strength and the intelligence to actually, the emotional intelligence to actually acknowledge that. Because I think a lot of times when people go through stuff, I mean, I'm no expert. I find that I've noticed that when people go through stuff, why people hold things in is that we do not acknowledge that, okay, I'm very sad and I'm not feeling myself, but let me get myself up. Self-acknowledgement of what you're feeling is so imperative. And then it allows you to say, okay, what's the next step forward after this? Inner peace. I am loyal to my inner peace. What do I do in order to keep that that going, you know. So that's what I'm loyal to, inner peace. So yeah, man, it's a tough one, but that Darkhold, not worth it at all. That was our Dear Diary for this evening. Absolutely powerful words by the lovely Pindile Yende. So yeah, absolutely gorgeous. It brings us exactly 20 minutes after 10 o'clock. We'll be back in just a moment with the wrap up.
Darubini ya Afrika na I am Henry Shakif.
Deogratus Bwire, wewe kama mkurugenzi wa shirika la kutetea haki za binadamu kutoka kule Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. Maandamano yameendelea kwa siku ya pili. Nini kinaendelea?
Kwanza mimi ningependa tusiliweke kama wafuasi wa upinzani. Kwa sababu kiukweli mimi nilipata kidogo kushuhudia watu waliokuwa wanapita barabarani hawakuwa kwa namna yoyote ile wamebeba bendera ya chama chochote cha upinzani.
Umezungumzia swala zima vitu ambavyo havijakaa sawa vinapaswa kurekebishwa. Vitu hivyo ni nini?
Hivyo vitu ambavyo havijakaa sawa tayari nimeshavisema huko. Najua kumekuwepo na mtiririko wa matukio mengi sana. Watu ambao wanakuwa wanapinga masuala kadha wa kadha ambayo yanaonekana kufanywa na vyombo vya dola kwenye mitandao au hata pia nje, wamekuwa wakichukuliwa hatua.
Darubini ya Afrika kila Jumatatu hadi Ijumaa kuanzia saa 11 kamili hadi saa 12 kamili jioni majira ya Afrika ya Kati.
Nighttime radio, just the way you like it. On Channel Africa, where the night comes alive.
It is Susu Billy Billy Billy. I knew I was going to get tongue tied and I was practicing it. It is Susu Billy B. Oh, got it right. With Ole right here on Channel Africa. Thank you so much for choosing us. This is African Diaries with me, Kitty Peter, standing in for Shayla. And we're together all the way until midnight Central Africa time. And we're going to go straight into our our daily wrap up. And we're going to be highlighting what happened during the day on Channel Africa. Starting with Rise and Shine, Asanda Beda spoke to Ompile Goethe, head of client service at Digify Africa, about Global Entrepreneurship Week, which runs from the 17th to the 24th of November. Now, the focus is on support systems that enable small enterprise growth.
About this new creation called Lwazi, which means knowledge in the Xhosa and Zulu languages. What gap did you identify for you to reach the formation of Lwazi?
So Digify in itself, we work on content creation, and we create these WhatsApp learning chatbots for various purposes of learning. Nedbank came to us a couple of years ago, and they said to us that they wanted to amplify the learning that they already had. In the past, before COVID, people used to do training face-to-face. Another way that they used to do training is they used to put it on their website and the traffic was low. And they really wanted to reach people where they are. And they really loved this idea of having their content on WhatsApp. We took their content, they gave us the content. And then we WhatsAppified it. We made it fun and interesting. We gave her a personality. We gave her a name. And we took their content and created this incredible content that will help elevate finances for entrepreneurs.
So how does the WhatsApp-based coach actually work for small business owners?
So it's so easy. They go on their phone and they save the number like you would a normal number. So if you meet up with your friend Tulufelo and you're like, hey, show me, can I please have your number? You take their number, you save it on your phone, you go on WhatsApp, you look for Lwazi because you save it as Lwazi, and you say hi and you start learning. So on this specific bot, we've got two learning parts. The one is around personal finance, and the one that we're highlighting today is on business finance. So entrepreneurs can then go on the business finance part, and they can start their journey on learning how to manage their finances for their small business.
And on the move, this is what took place today.
Hey there, this is Palisa Tau, one half of On the Move right here on Channel Africa. Taking a look at what we'll be chatting about today. Have you ever gone to like a dinner or a lunch with your friends and then said out loud, hey guys, my budget is only 300 Rand or $500 for this dinner or lunch today? Well, most of us don't do that, but we're looking at a phenomenon called loud budgeting in today's Money Matters feature. This is where you sort of tell other people about your budgeting, your spending, your investing habits, and what you'd like to do. Maybe it keeps you a little bit accountable, but let's find out what that is all about. Taking a look at a different phenomenon in the second hour for In the Cubicle. And today we're speaking about something called job hugging. You know, those people who stay at the same job forever and ever and ever, usually out of comfort and maybe a fear of the unknown and a lack of other opportunities. Let's take a look at what that is. In the first hour of today's show, we take a look at a new study that speaks about the real impact and the detrimental impact of blesser culture on young women. So stay with us. This is On the Move.
And on Africa Update, as global leaders from governments, multilateral agencies, civil society, youth, and the private sector are meeting in Johannesburg. Now, Lulu Gobu spoke to Gadi Tore, head of communications at the Partnership of Maternal, Newborn and Child Health, about the G20 Social Summit side event titled Women's, Newborns, Children's and Adolescents Health.
causes related to maternal health are the first leading cause of mortality for young women ages 15 to 19. So this is really a critical issue for us to tackle. Now, we know that the G20 economies are extremely important. They account for 80% of the world's global economies and have enormous capacity to influence priorities across the world. So we've been having a meeting today to discuss these issues and how they can be prioritized across agendas globally.
Now, you speak about inequities threatening decades of progress in child and maternal gains. What are your recommendations on dealing with this?
Definitely, we see these inequities. We've made some progress. So in the past 20 years, maternal mortality has decreased by 40% and child mortality approximately 50%. But that progress hasn't been fast enough, and it has been inequitable in the ways that it has happened. 70% of that mortality happens on the African continent. We also know that progress has been slowing for the past 10 years due to a number of conflating factors, but including climate change, which affects these populations, conflict settings, humanitarian settings also provide difficulty for these populations. And we are now seeing shifts in financing as well that play into this. Really ensuring that we are able to deliver packages of effective interventions for these populations as we roll out efforts to achieve universal health coverage is critical. A second thing that we can do is make sure that we prioritize legislation, so laws, policies, frameworks that really enable access to women's, children's, and adolescent health, and that finally we are financing the agenda. We've seen many commitments made to these issues, but the implementation lags, and that's in part because we haven't put forward the money.
On the upside, according to biomedical science, the skin is often the body's earliest warning system, revealing trouble long before any test can confirm it. Mateko Musito spoke to Dr. Judy Pretorius, the founder of Biomedical Emporium and a biomedical scientist, to unpack this further.
For diseases like diabetes, as I've mentioned, Doc, diabetes often reveals itself in the skin, as I understand it, before any diagnosis is made. Let's talk about some of the symptoms that we can see through the skin.
Well, I like to tell people that the human skin is a diagnostic organ. And let's start when you're a young child. And if you take a small baby to a pediatrician, what is the first things that a pediatrician does? They look in the eyes, they look in the ears, they look in the throat, and then lastly, they analyze and evaluate the skin. And that's why, because the human skin is nothing other than a diagnostic organ. It tells you what is wrong from a systemic point of view. And I know we're talking about diabetes, but for instance, I can talk about heart disease and heart failure as well. You can physically see when somebody has heart failure or heart disease because of, there's a very defined complexion and skin tone and color because of lack of oxygenation to the skin. Nails actually turn blue, for instance. Lips can turn blue because of lack of oxygen to the skin. So the human skin is a diagnostic organ. Right. And then the same happens actually with when an individual struggles with diabetes. Now, I know there is a difference between diabetes 1 and diabetes 2, and some new types of diabetes are actually also coming to the forefront. But fact of the matter remains is diabetes comes down to fluctuating blood glucose levels. Either there's a lack of insulin or there's just a complete deprivation of insulin. And this, of course, is going to have an effect on human skin. And the first thing, because of the fluctuation.
Crossing over to Africa in Business Today, this is what happened.
It is a very good afternoon to you, Ghana. Good afternoon, Mozambique, Senegal, Cote d'Ivoire. Good afternoon to you, Eritrea. Good afternoon, Nigeria. Good afternoon, Africa. Welcome to Africa in Business on Channel Africa. I'm Tami Ngubeni. This afternoon on our agenda, we'll look at the financing of a Kapowership by the Mauritius Commercial Bank. We do know that Kapowership is the world's biggest provider of floating plants. They already provide power to several countries on the African continent. We'll look at the details of this $400 million loan. Also coming up this afternoon, the ZIG has backed and increased its reserves by 9% to now 980 million US dollars, getting very close to that 1 billion rand or $1 billion target rather that they'd set for themselves before the end of the year. Do engage with us on our various social media platforms on X, Instagram and YouTube. You'll find us at Channel Africa 1, and on Facebook we are at Channel Africa. Welcome to it.
And wrapping up with Zochitika, one of our language shows from 7 to 8 p.m. Central Africa time. Mada Piri guided us through the day's key stories in Chinyanja News highlights.
Mlembi wamkulu wa chipani cha African National Congress mdziko la South Africa Fikile Mbalula wati president wa chipanichi Cyril Ramaphosa amaliza kukhala pa udindo otsogolera dzikoli mpaka teremu yake ithe. Mbalula walankhula motere potsatira zokambirana za mu chipanichi zomwe zinachitika kwa masiku angapo. Pakhala mafunso pali malipoti onena kuti pali ena mu chipanichi omwe akufuna kuti Ramaphosa atule pansi udindo wake okhala mtsogoleri wa dzikoli. Mbalula walankhula motere. Dr. Mary Dihas yemwe ndi katswiri pa nkhani za ndale wauza komiti yapadera mu nyumba ya malamulo mdziko la South Africa kuti unduna wa apolisi ukuononga ndalama pa zintchito zosapindulira nzika. Dr. Dihas walankhula izi pamaso pa komiti yomwe yakhazikitsidwa yomwe ikufufuza nkhani za katangale ndi ziphuphu mu gawo la zachilungamo mdzikoli. Mwazina, Dr. Dihas wati ndalama yomwe inakhazikitsidwa mu nthambi yapadera yofufuza zakuphedwa kwa ochita ndale maka mchigawo cha KwaZulu-Natal yalepheretsa kuthandiza nzika kupeza thandizo mu gawo la zachilungamo. Nzika za maiko ena zomwe zilibe ziphatso zoyenerera kukhalira mdziko la South Africa zoposa 600 zamangidwa ndi adindo mu dera la Mayfair mu mzinda wa Johannesburg. Ntchitoyi yachitika mothandizidwa ndi apolisi komanso unduna owona zamkati mwa dzikoli. Mtolankhani wa SABC Musa Mhlongo wafotokoza kunena kuti mwa anthu omwe amangidwawa 217 ndi azimayi, 413 ndi azibambo, ndipo ntchitoyi ipitirira m'madera ena mu mzindawo. Nkhani zathu pakadali pano ndi zomwezi. Malo mwa Channel Africa News ndine Thamo Kapisa.
And that's how we wrap up our daily wrap up right here on Channel Africa. Don't forget to catch all of those clips at the full length on our website on www.channelafrica.co.za. Should there be an interview that you really wanted to catch, you can listen to our podcast on that www.channelafrica.co.za. And that's how we wrap it up. And of course, up next is a beautiful conversation with Sihle Sibisi, the founder of Kwanele Foundation, in light of gender-based violence being a daily pressing challenge in our society. It is a conversation that is always needed to be had in our society. We can never speak enough of. So that's what you can look forward to after this.
Africa's voices, Africa's journeys. They all on African Diaries. Global leaders, African insights. Follow the G20 summit with Channel Africa as it happens. Keep Africa in your hands. Connect to our website for all your news, sports, and cultural updates. channelafrica.co.za.
Seen a girl like this before. I just wanna let you know, baby, that you were beautiful to me. Now you are one Mario, now you are one Carigo. Never seen a girl like you before. I just wanna let you know, baby, yeah, that you were beautiful to me. See many men, them are toasting you, but I'm the only one for you. The love you need, I will give to you more than any man can give to you, baby. 'Cause you were beautiful to me. I know many guys, them loving you, but I'm the only one for you. See all the love I will give to you, more than any man can give to you, baby. Yeah, yeah. 'Cause you were beautiful to me, beautiful to me, yeah. Oh yeah, now, fine lady, scatter the floor, fine lady, give it to them, fine lady, bakuruma, fine lady, give me the wine, fine lady, give me the wine, give it to them, fine lady, bakuruma, fine lady, yeah, yeah, fine lady, scatter the floor, fine lady, give it to them, fine lady, bakuruma, fine lady, give me the wine, fine lady, give me the wine, give it to them, fine lady, bakuruma, fine lady. Baby girl, you're just too fine. When you walk about, you blow my mind. Maybe me plus you combine. 'Cause I really want to make you mine, baby. You were beautiful to me, so beautiful. See many men, them are toasting you, but I'm the only one for you. The love you need, I will give to you, more than any man can give to you, baby. 'Cause you were beautiful to me. I know many guys, them loving you, but I'm the only one for you. See all the love I will give to you, more than any man can give to you, baby. Yeah, yeah. 'Cause you were beautiful to me, beautiful to me, yeah. Oh yeah, now, fine lady, scatter the floor, fine lady.
You are listening to Beautiful to Me by Rick Hassani right here on Channel Africa. My name is Kitty Petla. You're with us here on African Diaries, where we tackle very important issues. And of course, we have a good laugh from time to time. But for this evening, we are tackling something that is so serious and that is, that is just breaking down at our community bit by bit. And I hope that one day we'll be able to curb it and find ways that we can actually, be without gender-based violence. And I know that's like reaching at straws, but hey, I'm a hopeful person and I believe in law of attraction. And if we think, we stand together, we act on it, it's a massive thing, because it's something that is very close and dear to my heart as well. I mean, gender-based violence remains one of the most pressing challenges of our time and touching lives in ways that are often hidden by deeply felt. And across communities, people on the ground area quietly but powerfully fighting back. One organization making a tangible difference in Kwanele Foundation, a bold initiative to that speaks out for victims that are challenged in toxic norms and empowers those affected by abuse, especially in religious and vulnerable spaces. Today, we have the privilege to speak with the founder, Sihle Sibisu, whose vision and hands-on approach are helping to turn the tide against GBV, one life at a time. Good evening to you. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for joining us, Sihle.
Good evening, and thank you for having me on Channel Africa this night.
We appreciate that fact that you could make the time to have a conversation with us, Sihle. Really, really, my gratitude to you. The Kwanele Foundation emerged from years of personal experience and observation of injustice. Can you share what motivated you to take the step from personal advocacy to founding the organization?
Kwanele Foundation, indeed. Every office that we focus on is birthed from my personal experience. Initially, we it was called Kwanele Mfundisi, because I started speaking out about the atrocities, the trauma, the abuse that I had experienced at the hands of pastors many years ago. And during the COVID pandemic, when we experienced the lockdown, that's when I went full on and just started talking about my journey. And each time I'd speak or post about it, I'd write hashtag Kwanele Mfundisi. And then I noticed that a lot of people started reaching out to me because they themselves had been through something like this similar. They've been affected by the abuse at the hands of pastors, churches, and the religious sector. But then as people started confiding me, I realized that I can't be restricted just to the pastoral sector. And that's when I decided to say, no, let's call it Kwanele Foundation.
Right.
So within the foundation, we deal with 4 main offices. Yes, we've got Kwanele Mfundisi. Now, in Kwanele Foundation, we have the legal fraternity and the psychological fraternity. So Kwanele Mfundisi, we advocate and stand against gender-based violence and femicide within the church at the hands of pastors. We are not against the church. We are not against the religious sector. But as we have the legal fraternity and the psychological fraternity, when people write to us, we are able to, the legal fraternity and the psychologists are able to determine if this is a psychological matter, it's a legal matter, or it needs to be handled both. And the next office that we have is Kwanele In-Laws. I lost my spouse in 2016, and I went through the most. So yet again, when someone has lost their spouse, we are able to assist legally or psychologically, and also legally making sure that they do not get disinherited, the spouse or the children of what's meant to come their way. And then the last 2 main offices is Kwanele Nsizwa and Kwanele Ntombo, where we have gender-based violence and femicide conversations within the school, classroom dialogues for the boy child and the girl child. Because remember, for us to make sure that gender-based violence ends in our lifetime, we need to make sure that we start at the root from the early childhood development.
Sure. Yeah, that is remarkable. Your addresses, your work addresses both the immediate needs of survivors and deeper societal factors that perpetuate violence. How do you balance responding to urgent cases with working towards long-term cultural change?
I think the beauty of it is that if people have issues, they need to send an email. We believe in paper trail evidence and stuff because we've been bitten. Sometimes people will say word of mouth, and then when we investigate, we find it's not true. So I'm blessed with a beautiful team. I'm blessed with a beautiful team that when emails come through, they are able to assess, they're able to direct it to the right department, and they take over and they assist. Of course, there are certain cases that need us to jump immediately and go and assist because it's urgent cases. There are cases that someone will write to us and say, I've been experiencing this, but I'm only coming out now. So it depends on what is happening in the now, and it depends also if the team sees that it's an urgent matter that needs to be attended to now or not. At the same time, also, we always make people aware that, look, we're not funded by government. Our resources are limited. So sometimes, in as much as we would like to jump and make sure that work is done at that time, sometimes we are found wanting because we might not have all those resources at that moment. And at times, people might think we don't rush as much as they want to, but even us, we are not funded, so we do the best that we can, but also making sure that whatever we do, we don't work outside the constraints of the law.
Now, empowering young people, both girls and boys, is a key part of your approach, especially in Kwanele Nsizwa and Kwanele Ntombo. Now, I wanted to know, in your experience, how does engaging the next generation shape the fight against gender-based violence?
I think engaging the next generation will change the fight of fighting gender-based violence. Because remember, we need to make sure that the generation that's coming and the generation yet unborn does not go through what we went through. I mean, we grew up in a society where we watched our mothers, our sisters, our brothers, our uncles going through the Begazela system, where you are told, no matter what happens in marriage, you can't leave. You'll only leave with your coffin once you're dead. Where we see our aunts going through relationships where they believe if a man does not physically manhandle me, it means he does not love me. So we ourselves need to be educated to unlearn we ourselves need to unlearn that rot, that nonsensical behavior, so that when we are imparting knowledge to our younger selves and the generations yet unborn, it all starts on a clean slate. So that is why we advocate for resources to say we need to make sure that the education and the unlearning of this is done so that we are able to shape the future of the younger generation and the generation yet unborn.
You know, unlearning existing struggles is such a difficult journey, and I hope we really do get there at some point with the wonderful work that you do. Religious and cultural context often play a role in abuse. How does the foundation navigate these sensitive areas while still supporting victims and advocating for change?
Well, you know, as I said, we are blessed to have the legal and the psychological departments in the office, and at the end of the day, most people, I always say to them, behind the title of a pastor or a prophetess or whatever, is a human being. And behind the title of the institution is gender-based violence that has happened within it, or femicide, which is the killing of women and children. So when we attend to cases, we tend not to want to say it's because we hate pastors or whatever. We take it for what it is, for what's happening at that moment. If it's a psychological case, we need to follow up with it. If it's a criminal case, we need to follow up with it. I think the mistake that people find is that they will think, Kwanele Foundation, CBC hates the church, is against the pastor, and that is far from it. Far from it. We are just there to bring forth reconciliation, restoration, and rehabilitation, because how many more people are sitting in churches or institutions where their voice is and their voice is completely silenced. They cannot speak up and say, this is what I'm going through, for fear of secondary victimization or for fear of being kicked out of that church or that institution, because some of them, they grew up in that institution and that's all they know. So it takes a lot. It also comes to a lot of psychosocial intervention needed, and for them to unlearn the rot.
Absolutely. I mean, your message is very clear. You're not against the churches or religion at all.
No.
It's the perpetrators that are the issue, behind these establishments. The foundation has expanded its reach through partnerships and technology. Can you share how these tools have helped you connect with survivors and communities in meaningful ways?
Well, we're able to, nowadays we're blessed to have social media. We're blessed to have different streams that people are able to reach out to us. We're blessed that now people can reach out to us on different platforms. We're blessed that even now, me talking to you, it's another way somebody out there might not have been exposed to the foundation. But when they hear me talk and they hear me speak, they want to go and investigate more. They want to be able to find out who is this person, what is going on, what is happening. And you find that that's when other people get the awakening of saying, hey, man, I also need to actually heal from certain milestones, from the horrible things that I went through. So we always amplify to say your voice is valid and your voice must not be shut down. We believe in the amplification of one's voice, because once your voice is amplified and you own your truth, there's power in owning your truth. Whether it's a negative experience or a good experience, we learn, and daily people learn what to do and what not to do from the experiences you go through.
Speaking of victims' voices, stories of resilience and recovery are often powerful. Could you share an example of a case or initiative that illustrates the impact the foundation has had on someone's life?
I'll tell you, there was a case. There was a case of a young girl. Well, I'll say a young girl, but she was murdered by her boyfriend. And I remember how the family reached out to the foundation, and we've been walking the justice route with them for the past 5 years. Because our justice system tends to delay, tends to take forever. And each time the case was postponed, the family was experiencing secondary victimization and everything. But at the long haul of it was when the case was concluded and the alleged perpetrator was found guilty. I think when you see, and through the walk of the 5 years with the family, they've been getting psychological assistance from us. And when the case is finally concluded and you see the closure that it brings to the family. That's when you turn around and you say, oh my God, it's completely worth it. I had to be a part of this. I had to, because then it also shows us that we are meant to be here for such a time as this, because we are the ones that amplify the voices of the deceased beyond the grave. We are the ones that come there. I mean, when we go to court, we create petitions. We create petitions. We are the ones that make sure that we have representation for the family. So the voice of the deceased is amplified within the court. And when we see cases like this, where the justice is achieved, it really is a milestone for us.
I mean, Kwanele Foundation is doing such incredible work. I mean, in the legal side of things, psychological side of things, in-laws, Nsizwa and Ndombo. Really, I can't, pardon me, I can't even begin to imagine how it's been so incredibly tough of a journey for you. But having said that, on a more personal side of things, how have you been coping with all this load on you, with your own experiences and what you have gone through this life and the reasons why you started the foundation? How has your healing journey been? How are you doing?
I think for me, more than anything, that's why I am one that advocates a lot for positive mental health. And I advocate for it through psychologists. You know, I'm thankful that I've got psychologists that I can speak to who can help me, because sometimes you need to learn that you need medication for certain traumas that you experience in life. I mean, most people will say, you are so strong, you know, with everything you've been through, you're still able to help others. I've learned to accept that my pain has become the gain of many people. But in accepting that my pain has become the gain of many, I can't neglect my healing. And how do I heal? I still have sessions with my psychologist. I am on medication for my mental health, because you experience anxiety and depression at times. And I always say to people, the fact that I publicly speak about my mental health struggles does not mean I'm crazy.
No.
But what I've seen is that when I talk about it, there's somebody out there who's also able to say, I'm also going through this. I also need 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So for me, more than anything, it's been the strong support base that I have behind the scenes, because I believe that you can't give what you don't have. So if I'm not going for mental health evaluations, seeing a psychologist, seeing a therapist, I cannot expect the next person to. I mean, that's why even my son goes for that. I mean, it's been 1 year, 10 months since I buried my daughter. My daughter was 10 years old. She passed on from a ruptured brain aneurysm. And so my son and I have been seeing a psychiatrist since. We're on medication. So when I speak about these things, I speak about them because I always believe that there is somebody out there who's possibly going through what my son and I are going through. And we are saying to them, draw strength. You can still live. You can still find healing in all of this.
Oh, man, this is so, like... Sure, this is music to my ears, hearing that, you know, you are taking care of yourself mentally, your spirit, you're taking care of your heart, you know, and your well-being, you know, and you're choosing inner peace and somewhat, you know, in order to go on and be an anchor for so many, you know. So I just wanted to say, listen, my eternal gratitude to you for making the time, and may you continue you know, doing this incredible work, because it can never be enough. But there's only one of you. There's only so much you can do, and the little and the big that you do is so impactful. For that, I am so grateful, and thank you so much for the amazing work that you do.
Thank you so much for having me on your show.
That was Sihle CBC, founder of Kwande Foundation, formerly registered as the NP organization dedicated to informal advocacy against abuse in the religious sector for over 10 years. And under that foundation, you know, there's the legal side, Kwanele Legal, Kwanele Psychology, Kwanele In-Laws, Kwanele Nsizwa, and Kwanele Ndombo. So listen, it's a massive umbrella that is just made of support, love, and it's just there as a voice for gender-based violence victims. That was incredible. Thank you so much to CBC. It is exactly 11 o'clock. Welcome to the second hour of African Diaries with me, Kitty Peter, standing in for Shayla. We'll be back in just a moment.
Conversations that touch the heart and inspire change. Here on African Diaries, only on Channel Africa. Join us on www.channelafrica.co.za.
It's 1 minute after 11 o'clock. As I said, welcome to the second and last hour of African Diaries with me, Kitty Peter, standing in for Shayla. Please do download the Channel Africa app. Yes, we are fancy like that, so you can download it and check out what is happening when it comes to all things Channel Africa. And at Channel Africa 1 is our social media, it's a social media handle. And +27 63 406 9126 is where we are on our WhatsApp line. www.channelafrica.co.za is where you can stream us. And of course, do check out our YouTube channel as well. And at DSTV Audio Bouquet, you can find us on channel 802, and channel 628 is where we are on OpenView HD. Well, you can look forward to what is up next. Is our guest Laiva Starker, is the South African music therapist and researcher. So she's going to be chatting to us about music healing for gender-based violence victims. And I find that so profound, because really there are different ways that music has been incorporated into healing methods. So she's going to be chatting to us about that when we come back.
The G20 Summit through African eyes, live updates, and expert voices only on Channel Africa.
I told you, man. It's King Tick Pandemics.
Chimani pass a peace of mind. She got a man, but he had no mind. The pass a love, baby, don't be stingy. The way he phone now, can't you see? Baby, Osani see you, no chill on that way. Baby, Osani panga chipuba, Superman. Nini na power monga Superman. I'm gonna protect you monga Superman. Nina olimba monga Superman. Give you what belongs to Caesar. To Caesar, baby, I'm the leader. He was she touch it, deliver. Give you what belongs to Caesar. To Caesar, baby, I'm the leader. Deliver.
Chocolate, big baller. My lady's coming to want more. She love the way I put it down, but even more, she love my aura. Shake like thunder, beat like drummer. This right here is a la summer. Somebody please call emergency. The way the girl is hurting me, yeah. I like her, she a freak. My wife, she a keeper. No one like her, she a sniper. My type of ghetto diva. I like her, she a freak. My wife, she a keeper. No one like her, she a sniper. My type of ghetto diva. Superman. Shawty say you want a Superman. Baby, you know you a superwoman. So you and I could be the super friends. Baby, I'm a lover. Baby, I'm a pleaser. Give it to you harder. Never will I tease you. Eat it like salad. Call that a season. So when I'm in Rome, you should follow the leader. Give me what belongs to Caesar. To Caesar, baby, I'm the leader. You watch it, touch it, deliver. Give me what belongs to Caesar. To Caesar, baby, I'm the leader.
Superman. Nini na power monga Superman. I'm gonna protect you monga Superman. Nina olimba monga Superman.
The story that moves the continent. It's on African Diaries on Channel Africa.
Are you feeling good about yourself? Maybe the fool in front of everybody else. Are you happy with the way things are? Now that you played me like a bass guitar, I am ready. I'm ready to be free. Try it like I be. Was it why you pull out in easy? Your got done gagging giggles on there. No, fuzzy and gagging giggle in the silly. I am ready. I'm ready to be free.
Is Free by Aya Mbama, and before that was Superman by Yo Maps featuring Omarion right here on Channel Africa. My name is Kitty Peter, standing in for I almost said Nolo. Wow. See what you do to me, Nolo. I'm standing in for the lovely Shayla right here on Channel Africa. Thank you so much for choosing us. We are together all the way until midnight, Central Africa time. Listen, something interesting, wise or absolute lies, in a study of communities in the Democratic Republic of Congo, people who were affiliated with faith communities, for example, attended religious services, were significantly more supportive of gender equality and non-violence compared to those not affiliated. So the same study engaging with faith groups to prevent VWG is affected communities as a result from a 2 community survey in the DRC. So man, it's something to think about, right? It's really, really interesting. And of course, it's that time where we have a beautiful, beautiful conversation. Can music music truly heal the unseen wounds of violence? Listen, let us know on a +27. I always have to look at the WhatsApp number. I don't know it off by heart. It's +27 63406 9126. Let us know, can music truly heal the unseen wounds? Music therapist Laeva Starker explores how melody and rhythm becomes a pathway to safety. Lifa. Oh, okay. So we were busy trying to figure out how to say her name. So it's Lifa Starker explores how melody and rhythm becomes a path to safety, empowerment, and emotional recovery for survivors of GBV. And she's really incredible. I mean, she's just going to be letting us know how we can navigate this, especially for survivors of gender-based violence. And this is just really grounding stuff to know that you can work through the rhythms, melody, and relational ways of dealing with survivors through music, through their healing journey as well. So this is really, really amazing. So Leva Starker, a registered music therapist based in Makanda, Eastern Cape, has focused much on her work and research on this intersection of music and trauma. Her master's dissertation, How Do Music Therapists Work with Women Who Have Experienced Gender-Based Violence, explored the ways in which music can foster safety, empowerment, and emotional integration. For her practice demonstrates how sound and silence can both become instruments of healing. We've got Lifa on the line. Good evening to you. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you doing?
Good, good. Oh my gosh, I'm so marveled at the work that you're doing because, I always find that there's such amazing ways of healing through music, and I'm really interested to know more about it. Your dissertation explores how music therapists work with women who have experienced gender-based violence. What were the most striking insights you discovered about music as a medium for trauma recovery?
I think there's a few different aspects. I wonder first whether I should just maybe explain a bit about music therapy. I find the arts therapies, so music therapy is one of the 4 forms of arts therapies you get. In South Africa especially, we're still a relatively new profession compared to countries such as the UK. And people often don't know that the arts therapies exist as a profession and what it is that we do. So music therapy is a clinical psychotherapeutic intervention that uses verbal and non-verbal techniques and interventions within a therapeutic relationship with people of all ages and abilities, specifically in a process designed to address emotional, cognitive, physical, transpersonal, social, and community needs. So we're registered with the Healthcare Professions Council in South Africa. We work with a very big evidence base. So I think one of the biggest things I usually get as a music therapist when I tell people I'm a music therapist is that people say, oh no, I don't do music.
Well, little did they know that they will definitely do music after you have a session with them through healing.
Exactly, that being able to play an instrument is not a requirement at all to benefit from music therapy. I think music is so much a part of who we are as human beings. Everything we do has to do with music, the way we have rhythm in our body through our heartbeat, through our breathing, through our walking, the way we speak has melody in it. So if you can make a sound with your voice, you can sing. Most people say, no, I can't sing. No, fine, not all of us have the voice of Beyonce. But if you can make a sound, you can sing. So that is kind of the premise of music therapy, is that everyone is innately musical, and music therapy draws on these innate musical qualities that sits within every person. to access things that might be hard to just talk about. So we, through music therapy or art therapy, drama therapy or dance and movement therapy, those are the 4 categories of arts therapists, we offer people access to psychotherapy who might not necessarily be able to work well in your traditional talking therapy.